Whew. Okay, so I am super sick right now. And I'm just playing around, honestly, but I was gonna do a recording of a delve. So, hold on, I don't like the way that that's... I kind of made it better, I guess. I don't know. My blankie. Sucks. Okay, so... Yeah, here we go. Oh wait, I always forget that I'm like forgetting to go over back to here. Okay. Excuse me. But yes, I've done the Earthcrarwl mines many times, but we're doing, oh wait, no we can't do that. But we're doing the Earthcrarwl mines because, as you see, it's lit up in gold, which means it's a special coffer, whatever you call it, key. And I also need to finish this at some point, so I just figured I'd use it to do that, because it doesn't matter which delve you use to do that. I am dying, it is cold. Oh, sorry, I'm listening to music too. This sucks. Don't get sick. I mean, I think I started with my son and my partner. We're not really sure who got it, but we all have it now. So, it's just like achy. My nose started a bit in the last, like, I don't know, hour, but it's like achy and cold, and Tylenol helps, but like achy, cold, and just generally not feeling the greatest. Achy and cold and crappy feeling. Get out of the way, Braun. No, I don't want to sell it. I want to start. Sorry, my brain's not braining today. Oh, I'm already on the quest. Okay, whatever. Oh, I think he blew himself up or did something. I don't know what he did. Oh shit. Usually means something bad. This
we are
looks
the
like
seekers
a
of
different
light.
one.
Stay productive in the light, vigilant in the night.
Flamethrower torch acquired. You say. I think this is the third one I haven't done yet.
Those webs will summon Nerubians.
Yeah, hold
Don't
on.
stand in them.
I'd like a drink of chocolate milk first. Shit. Apparently I don't get a drink of chocolate milk. I just get attacked. Okay, I helped Braun.
I need a target. I don't have a target.
Everybody happy now? Do I get no loot? What is this? What is this travesty? So yeah, recording's a bit different than streaming, I guess. I'm going to post these on my YouTube, actually, later on. Where is it? Where the heck? What is attacking us? Nothing, apparently. Braun's just throwing out health for no reason. I was okay for like, this is the 5th hour since I took a Tylenol, but like, I was okay for a bit, and now it's starting to come back. I'm gonna take another before bed. It's just like, my husband had the headache, and he has the nose and the other stuff that goes along with it, but he had a headache, and he kept saying the room was spinning for the first couple of days that he had it, except for I didn't get it until today. I woke up with a really sore throat, and my head hurt slightly, but I wasn't dizzy, and I think it's because I stay hydrated every day, because I have an app that I press what I drink into, which keeps me on track, and it really helps. I've been hydrated for over a year now consistently, so I think it's like almost 500 days, which is really good because I didn't used to drink a lot at all, and over half of that, so it's like 2.2 liters a day. It depends on how cold it is, hot it is, and other factors like how tall you are and all that. And your weight, but like it's pretty decent. It's unfortunately only for Apple, like some things are, and it's really cool. I drink at least. Well, I don't need that. I drink at least 1 liter of water a day, and then the rest is like chocolate milk and other stuff, juice, which is still technically water based. But breaks down how, oh my god, no. It breaks down how much hydration is in each drink that you're drinking too. That's how it calculates it. It's amazing. But yeah, it's just achy and cold, and that's what it started like, okay, so that's what I was explaining to you, even sick, my ADHD goes on a big tangent train. I woke up with a sore throat, and my head hurts slightly, but mainly the sore throat that I noticed, and I was like, oh, I'm getting sick. And I got up, and I did all the chores I could in the house, like the chores I usually do and the extra chores I wanted to do and get done for the day, like bath my dog and stuff. But I didn't go for my walks today, and I felt so lazy and so useless because I walked like 8 kilometers a day, and Algo only says I've only moved like 2 kilometers today. And it's just like, but I have to rest, it is what it is, because like I can't, it hurts. Well, like, it's a different kind of hurt, if I can say anything. It's like an ache, a dull ache, and you're shivering and you're cold and you just can't get rid of it. What are we fighting? Nothing. And it sucks. But the Tylenol did take it away, but this is the 5th, almost 6th hour, so I'm gonna have to take another one to get rid of it again. That takes about half hour.
Greetings, outsider.
But my head doesn't hurt, so
Beware the
thankfully I can
shadows.
still game. And as I was saying, I think that my head, 37, that's an odd number. As I was saying, I think the reason why I didn't get the headache part of it, like my partner and my son did, was because I stay hydrated, and they do not. So, I think that's what helped me a lot. Because, I don't know why. Everybody gets different symptoms too, sorry, but like, that's the only thing I could think of that might have helped me. Yeah, this is a different one. I think I might finally get the achievement for doing all three Earthcrarwls. That's cool. I'm dying. So goddamn cold. Really, I've only killed 10 of them. Well, that's not right. Can I flamethrower? I'm thinking. Yo, I want to turn it back on. What the hell? Bring the flamethrower. Bring the flamethrower back. Yeah. Right. I like how it switches and it says the flamethrower is still on. It's very complicated. Okay, let's see if it stops when I'm trying to use it against enemies. Oh no, who designed this thing, but it seems half broken. If you want to use it on enemies, that's like the thing it was made for, other than the legs. Flamethrower, enemies. I'm so cold and shivering. But yes, I am thankful that my head doesn't hurt. It was just the shivering and the aches, because my chair is comfy and I have a footrest underneath it's comfy, and I'm just thankful that I can sit here and my head doesn't hurt, because if my head hurt I wouldn't be gaming. I'd be in bed. Which I did fall asleep on the couch for like a brief minute. I was watching a Winston Churchill documentary. Not because he's boring, just because I was really tired. Okay, I had to go out and get groceries today, and I couldn't even drive. I had to get my husband to drive me, who's feeling slightly better than I was, and we probably should have just stayed home, but like I need to get it done so we can have food. I kept washing my hands and making sure I wasn't getting into contact with anybody, so it's good. Sometimes you have to do what you have to do. And I know I'm gonna get people that are like, oh my god, why'd you do that? What's wrong? I thought we got COVID. Well, I'll tell you. I have never gotten COVID. And also, I stopped getting the flu shot when I was back in public school. I begged my parents, don't sign that again, because all it does is make you feel like shit. And then when I don't have it, I don't get the flu. I'm fine. So, like, if I can live, it's been, oh goddamn, that was in grade 5 or 6. If I can live over 20-ish years, without a flu shot and not really get the flu. But I don't need that shit just to make me sick. And unfortunately, I did get the COVID shot. The ones that you had to get, because I wanted to go to the grocery store and stuff. So I did get the COVID shot. The 3
Smell
boosters.
that?
I did not get
It's
the 4th
treasure.
one
I know
because
it.
that was
We're
optional here.
close.
And I did not. They have this flu clinic, COVID shot clinic bullshit. My mom gets one every year, and my grandparents, and I'm just like, no, no way, I'm not doing that. And I didn't get my son vaccinated either because he was 3 when all this was going down. God damn, he's like 8 now. He's turning 8 in less than a month, like 2 weeks. So my son was 8, or sorry, 3. And I did not trust it. It was too new, and I didn't trust. I got him. Okay, so I'm not against vaccinations. I should put that out there. He is fully vaccinated against everything else, but we have had documentation on that. Lots of documentation on that. COVID, we have not, and I feel like we rushed it. So I unfortunately had to do what I had to do for myself because they weren't allowing anybody to go to the stores unless you had it, but I'm not getting it for my son. So my son doesn't have a COVID shot, and he's never got COVID either, so woohoo. Like, I don't know, maybe we're just lucky. I shouldn't jinx us. But yeah, he has never gotten it either. So we're all good there. And no, I don't have a cough or anything, so it's just a cold. But yeah, we're all good, and I'll get better and be back to my full lovely self, hopefully within the week. Still be having to carry on my daily grind because I'm mommy, and I can't be out of action. I can't be out of commission. I gotta cook suppers and do chores and stuff. It's what I'm there for. And I also don't mind that that's what I'm there for. Just saying. Like, I love being a stay-at-home mom. I love taking care of my family. I love doing the majority of the chores. I feel like that's what I was meant to do in life, and it gives me the freedom and the flexibility to be there for my son. If he ever gets called out of school, and I don't have to worry about like, oh, I have to tell my job, hey, I can't, I have to go to my son. I just can go and get my son. And I know not everybody has that luxury, but I would gladly do this. And I'm not against, I'm against some feminism because I feel like it's been taken a little too far. But, there's a big but here. I'm my own person, and I'm gonna just be me. It's just the way it is. Like, you get out of the way, Braun. I'm fully vaccinated too. It's not like I'm an anti-vaxxer or anything, but again, I don't agree with some of the things the government does and or says. You have to, if nobody questioned anything in their life, we would be a very shit society, but it's just, don't knock me off the edge. That's what's starting to happen. I feel like people are unfortunately going soft, and I feel like I'm gonna get get people getting mad at me, but like, it's true. Like, some things, half of things, I don't know, it depends on what you're saying, but some things that people get mad over and or like cause a big scene over or have issues over seem very mild compared to when I grew up, and it just seems exhausting. Like, why are you living your life like that? Go have less stress. Don't worry about other people, just worry about yourself. I had to learn that, or else I'd still be a big ball of stress. But yeah, there was a reason I was talking about this. I'm roasting him. Oh, apparently I'm just melting the whatchamacallit off him. But yeah, I'm not gonna stop being me. I'm gonna be quiet and not start things with people in society. So maybe I shouldn't be saying this because people will comment and be like, "Oh my God, that's your beliefs." Well, I don't really have beliefs. I just go with the flow, and you know, if I don't agree with something or I question something, then it is what it is. I question it. Did nobody ever teach anybody to question things when they were younger? Like, question the validity, see where the information's coming from, you know? Make up your own mind and decisions for what's best for you. So I'm also going to share one more thing. I have a candle on my head. I had a stroke at 25, and I've talked about it before. The stroke was caused by technically malpractice, but there's no way I could ever sue or anything for it, and it's just a long drawn-out process, and I just don't. I'm fine. I'm healthy. It is what it is. I'm okay. But the doctor that I was on, and every time I have a therapist now, I'm in therapy twice a month, and not for for your mental health, not for physical. Thank God I had no issues, lasting issues from the stroke, but it was caused by too much of one antidepressant and then adding another one. And it weakened the vein in the front right part of my head, and it just spontaneously burst open and started bleeding into the fluid of my head. And every time I mention this to my therapist, she kind of gets pissed off because, not at me, at the doctors, because I had a family doctor who technically isn't supposed to prescribe this stuff. It's a psychiatrist and or a therapist, like my therapist now, who's supposed to prescribe this stuff. I was supposed to go back and see the psychiatrist at the hospital again, but I never got sent back to see him again. They don't even have any record of me ever being there, which is really weird because I completed an outpatient thing when my son was 1, and my husband drove me to it with our son in the car, and he vividly remembers it too. And because he had to take time off work to watch our son, and it's like, they don't even have a record of that. I had to get all my records because my family doctor just abruptly left his practice and went to a different one. And I still don't have a family doctor. It's been goddamn 2-3 years now. And like there were some good things he did. Do I remember them at this moment in time? No. But for the most part, it sucked because it didn't feel like, it never feels like you're being heard as a girl with doctors. It just feels like they're like, whatever. He was trying to diagnose me with autism, and doctors around here don't like diagnosing adults. I do have it run in my family, and both my cousins actually. One got diagnosed with ADHD in the early 30s, the other with autism, and it runs in our family, and I think I have a mix of both just based on different mannerisms and stuff, but we'll never know because the one doctor, like one of the only doctors here, stopped taking patients, and I filled out this huge, it was probably like that thick questionnaire thing, and gave it to my family doctor, and he didn't get it in time to the other doctor, and even though he told me he was like leaving and wouldn't be accepting any, he wasn't leaving, he was stopping accepting adult patients at the end of the month, and I was so pissed. So anyway, I got off track again. So that being said about that doctor, I was supposed to go back and see this other psychiatrist that had prescribed me this antidepressant in the first place. Unbeknownst to me, I should have done the research. Everybody, please do the research on the medication that you're on, because I just trusted doctors blindly and just thought, hey, they know what they're talking about. They wouldn't give you something that would cause something. No, they're not perfect. So look at studies, look for things online. We have a great, glorious Google search option now, and don't trust everything. Try to find things that are written from a university that's reputable, or PhDs and stuff like that, like actual research trials and clinical trials and stuff, because I found this information out after I had a stroke. I wish I had looked before. So I would have been fine had they just kept me on, like, I don't know, under 40 milligrams, because that's the most you can ever be, the highest dose you can ever be on that medication. And this psychiatrist put me on to 60. I was already on it. I think I was on like 20 or 30, but he just upped it to 60. And then I never seen him again. There's no record of me ever seeing him. There's no record of me completing this week, I think it was a week or two, long inpatient therapy thing at the hospital. There's just no record of it. And it's so weird, because, like, why would there not be a record when I know I did this and my husband can back me up because he drove me there? So anyway, no record of that. No record of ever seeing this doctor or that he upped my medication. And I was on that for 2 years. 2 years, and my family doctor just kept re-prescribing it to me. Even though he can't, like, since I was already on it, he can, like, re-prescribe it, I guess, but he can't prescribe it from scratch. Family doctors aren't supposed to. They're supposed to work within the realm, like, the scope of what they studied, and that's family medicine, not psychiatry. So what ended up happening was they never tested me. They never tested any of my vitals, any of my organs during this whole 2 years, which you're supposed to do on this medication to see if anything was going wrong. I was getting sick, progressively worse the whole 2 years, and nobody could tell me why. I was getting all this testing done. Nobody could tell me why. Like, I was getting testing done for other other things that had nothing to do with the medication. So nobody could tell me why, because everything came back fine. And I just was exhausted and like sad, and I was just like, why is my health going? I think I started this when I had my son at 22 because I had been adamant that I was never going to take any depressants because I wanted therapy. And then the doctor, after I had my son, when I went for a checkup, I think my son was like, I don't know, 2 months at that point, was like, well, you haven't tried it. What's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen? I could have a stroke, buddy, 3 years later. So he just said that, and I trusted him. I was like, I might as well try it. He just started me on a low dose. What I actually think was happening back then was I think I was having postpartum depression, which just exacerbated the depression I'd already had since I was 15. So it presented as just worse depression. So therapy could have helped, and other things could have helped, and the parenting classes that I took later on down the road really helped. But like nobody thought process decided to think that one through. So here I am, I'm on, I think, 20 or 30 milligrams of citalopram, and I'm just like, okay, I feel better, I feel good, whatever. And I would go see this doctor once a month, my family doctor, once I actually moved to the city I live in now. And he would check my mood on a scale of 1 to 10. He would just be like, oh, on a scale of 1 to 10, how sad do you feel? How sad have you been feeling? And if it was anything over 5, like, oh, more meds. And I was just like, okay.
I don't have a target.
Anyway, before the more meds thing happened, because that was after I jumped a little bit, that was after I got prescribed to the 60 milligrams that happened. That was his checking up on me, and I don't know why my pointing finger on my trigger on my mouse hand is the only thing that hurts out of my hands. It's really weird. Anyway, back on task, because I'm going on this rant about healthcare and why you should advocate for yourself. Don't know how we got here, but we're gonna finish this together. So I ended up going to the psychiatrist that he prescribed me to. Referred? That's a better word. Referred me to. And it was at the hospital, and I had to complete an outpatient treatment too, like a therapy outpatient thing. I have no record, and I've said that like multiple times, so I'm just gonna move on from that. So then I ended up on 60 milligrams for 2 years, with my doctor just checking my mood based on a scale of 1 to 10 and not actually checking my vitals, my health, anything, while I get progressively sicker, and nobody could tell me why. Now, the max dose that an adult is ever supposed to be on of citalopram is 40 milligrams. I was on 60, and that's where my therapist, when I told her that, my current therapist gets mad, because she's just like, he should have never been prescribing that, like continuing to prescribe that, and the psychiatrist should not have prescribed it that high, knowing, because there is knowledge as of 2018, and I had my stroke, 2018, I think, that year, that it can cause strokes. So they should have maybe whatever, but I felt like I was a guinea pig. So anyway, I ended up having the stroke, and it was after I went to my family doctor for a checkup, and he asked me how I was feeling on a scale of 1 to 10, and I was over 5 for sad. And sleeping, he asked me how my sleep was, and I mean, I've always had issues sleeping. I don't now, because I'm on the right anti-anxiety med that actually won't cause strokes, because my current therapist researched it, so I won't have another stroke. Because if I'm ever on any SSRI medication again, which is the class of family that gave me a stroke, I can possibly have a stroke. If I have too much estrogen, I could possibly have another stroke, so I can't even take regular birth control anymore. It's stupid. All because somebody didn't, they could have just said, go back and see the psychiatrist, or referred me again, or something, anything. I did get it. I finished that one. But yeah, anything at this point they could have done, and they didn't.
I'll give you a hand with this one.
What happened to have the stroke was 3 weeks before I ended up having the stroke. I
That's more like it.
got prescribed this other medication called quillatropine. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but Seroquel is the brand name for it. And
Nice find.
I had a stroke 3 weeks later. But 2 weeks later, because for a week they kept sending me home from the hospital saying I was having the flu, and I just had the flu and I'd get better. It's like, no, I'm throwing up for 7 days straight. Can't keep anything down. And on the 7th day, my head felt like it was splitting open, and I had to call the ambulance for myself. And thank God I could form words out of my mouth to say, my head is exploding. I need help. And they came. Got me all the tests, got me right away. They came and said to me, I'm sorry, you are having and or had a stroke. Peachy. So I was in the hospital for, oh, don't get me started on that story. I was in the hospital for 5 days. I should have been in there for a month. They discharged me with a medication that would have cost me $2,000 that you can only get at the hospital, and they should have known this because when I went to the pharmacy to pick it up with the prescription I had in my hand, they're like, this is only carried in the hospital. You're supposed to be monitored on a doctor with it. It's like a blood thinner, blood something. I don't know if it was a thinner or what it was, but it was something to do with your blood. And it was made by Bear. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm just doing what they told me. And they're like, well, we can't get it. So then the hospital was going to bring it over, and then they told me it was going to cost $2,000. And I'm just like, I'm on social assistance. I just had a stroke. If you want me to have another stroke, this is the perfect way to do it. They ended up covering the total cost for me, thankfully, and I was on that for a month. And that's pretty much the end of my stroke story. So don't trust doctors. Always do your homework. Always ask questions. Always push back. Never ever believe them fully, because shit like this happens. And apparently they can't find your records anywhere. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything, but like, where are my records? It just so happens that the only records that disappear are the ones that I had a stroke that caused me to have a stroke. Anyway, so that's what happened. I'm happy. I'm thankful. I'm healthy, and I love my family. And I'm thankful for my family. Can't speak. So, other than that, everything's good. I think I've said the story before about how they wrapped me up like a taco, not even joking, the night before I had my stroke, because capsaicin and peppers can help with your with feeling nauseous, and yes, it does, but it burns the shit out of your skin too. And they actually make a capsaicin cream specifically for this. Don't use it. Don't goddamn use it. So it burns your skin. No matter what you do, capsaicin will burn your skin. So they didn't have this cream. They went and got hot sauce from their cafeteria, slathered me up in hot sauce across my stomach, wrapped me in that clear cellophane, and just left me on the gurney in the hallway because they didn't have room for, like, in a room or anything. Burnt my skin, came back, put sour cream on me, and wrapped me back up and sent me home because the nausea had stopped. And the next day I came back having a stroke. And it turns out the type of stroke I had is it's like somewhere between a hemorrhage and a stroke. It's called a subarachnic hemorrhage. And it can present as throwing up, feeling tired, being nauseous, it can present like having the goddamn flu. But because I was so young, nobody chose to do any further testing to look into whether I was having a stroke until I said my head was splitting. It felt like it was opening from the inside out. That's the best I can describe it. It was the worst, and I'll always have a scar on my brain here now, but thankfully they have checked and it hasn't opened back up again ever. We're good. I'm good. Everything's good. I had an MRI at the year mark and everything was back to normal. Oh, and I forgot this part. So along with having the stroke, my liver was enlarged, my pancreas was enlarged, and my gallbladder. I don't drink. I've never been drunk. I smoked weed at the time, but like I haven't in a year, so I quit. But like I don't, there was no reason for my liver to be all screwed up other than that drug. And at the year mark when we did all the tests and stuff, it turns out that thankfully everything went back to normal when I wasn't taking that medication. So somebody should have done their homework, and this would have been found a long time before I had my stroke. But it has made me who I am, so I am not upset about it. I'm indifferent, kind of, I guess. I can't do anything about it. I can't change it. I can't go back in time. So it is what it is, and I've moved on. The moral of the story, though, is just don't trust doctors. And that's where I was getting at. Flu shot, COVID shot. So the COVID shot, because I had a stroke, they had like, I can't remember if it was Moderna or Pfizer, but I took the one that can cause blood clots or stroke or whatever before they figured that out. And I was so paranoid that I was gonna have another stroke, and I had to go and get a different one. So I think I've had 3 different ones because of what was available, and oh, it's a shit show. Just don't do it. I only did it because the government told me, and that's a shitty thing to have to do in society, that you only did something that alters your health and your life because the government told you. As I said, I did something because my doctor told me to, and I had a stroke. So what did the government know more than a doctor? Good question, right? So that is my rant on the healthcare system. You may think that our free healthcare system here in Canada is better. It is not. The wait times are horrible. You can't find a family doctor. Don't come here clogging up our system. Stay where you are, because it is much better, I guarantee you, than our shitty system over here. Somebody's got to fix that. And that's why you hear Canadians complaining about it. Honestly. Use this drink. Don't want this drink. Yeah, I don't really want it. I want to keep that and upgrade it. Oh, my head. Well, actually, more my legs. Earlier today, as I was saying, it sucked. I had the sore throat. Thankfully, I haven't been nauseous either. Or dizzy, excuse me. But I had the sore throat. I didn't really feel like eating, but I still ate. And kept drinking. I've kept liquids into me. And kept on my regular schedule, sort of to the extent that I haven't went outside and walked for 2 kilometers. But went and got groceries and felt like I was dying. So anyway, it started with, like, after I woke up and got going and had the sore throat and stuff, it started in my legs. And it just started, my husband's over there sneezing at his computer on the other side of the house. He has the Kleenex box with him. I started with, like, my legs, and it started cold, shivery, goosebumps, aching, and then it moved up to my arms, and it sucked. 10 out of 10 would not recommend. Don't do it. If you can stay away, just anyway, that is the end of this delve, so I'm going to stop this recording and post it on YouTube later. It was nice ranting to myself and anybody who might watch this. I don't know if they'll watch it all the way through, who knows, but if you do, subscribe, and I appreciate it. Thank you.